Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, yesterday's puzzle was quite interesting. Quite a lot of people in the comments seem to have got some quite fast times on a puzzle that took me 90 minutes. And some of those confessedly, and some of them apparently, made an assumption about the rules that wasn't warranted, which was that each colour of line had a different step ratio on it. I don't think you could certainly solve it logically without that assumption, as I did, but that would really speed it up, and it turned out to be correct. So for once it was other people getting lucky, not me, I think. But anyway, in the hopes of finding myself a slightly easier one today, and indeed, you know, we do like to bring you puzzles that are a bit easier. This has been described as a one-star puzzle. We got an email from Agostina. Hello, Agostina. Who's recently, in the last month, or since this was maybe in the last 6 weeks, become addicted to the channel. Great to hear. But really struggled having a go at this one and would like to know more about how to solve it. So we're going to have a go. It was rated as 1 star on Logic Masters Germany. That doesn't mean easy in my experience. It can mean anywhere between quite easy and really not that easy. We'll see how it goes. It's by Mixo, and that doesn't argue for a quiet time, but we're going to see how it plays. It's a double arrow puzzle. These aren't between lines. These lines with circles are double arrows, and I'll explain that when we get to the rules. We have reached the end of the period for oil and water by Blobs, and well done if you entered that competition in time. There will be a solution video up tomorrow for the first 3 puzzles in that, including the parity mirror one, and it's worth watching that if you struggled with that, as a few people did, I know. But that will be coming up on Patreon tomorrow. Patreon is a great place. That's where these hunts come up. So first of the month we'll see a new one, and we've got all sorts of other things on Patreon, crossword and connections videos amongst them. Do check it out. Of course, we will also be mentioning SVEN'S Sudoku Pad and our merchandise in the description field under the video, and a link to all of our apps, which do include Line Sudoku, as well as our latest Fog of War. So do check those out. Now, what are the rules to double exclusion by Mixo, which taxed Agostina? They are: normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 will go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Can't highlight that. Right, in a quadruple circle, that's one of the circles marked with digits in. The digits in the circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. So there must be at least 1 9 in this area, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5 in this one, and so on. And then the double arrow rule is that the sum of the digits on a line between 2 circles, so the sum of those 4 digits is equal to the sum of the 2 digits in the circles. So those 2 will add up to whatever those 4 add up to. That's the rule. Give this one a try. It's called double exclusion. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, right, one of the things we get in quadruple puzzles is X-wings, virtual X-wings, quite often. So here, in this green area, there must be a 1. In this yellow, no, a 2. In the green area, there must be a 2. In the yellow area, there must be another 2. And that's going to use up the 2 2s for columns 2 and 3. That is what I'm calling a virtual X-wing. And that means that none of these other cells in columns 2 and 3 can contain a 2. Where is the 2 going in box 4? Not in those cells. It must be in one of those. I mean, the other way of looking at this is that the 2 in box 1 is in one of those cells, so not in those. The 2 in box 7 is in one of those cells, and therefore not in these. And again, where does 2 go in column 1? That's one way of looking at that. So green has a 1, red has a 1. The same applies to rows 2 and 3. There can't be a 1 in any of those cells. There must be a 1 up there. The same is going to be true of 4 between red and orange, and 3 between yellow and orange. So these pencil marks, when I put a mark in the corner, I'm saying, this is Snyder notation, that a digit is limited to one of those cells in that box. I mean, that's effectively the job that most of these quadruple circles are doing as well, so I'm not marking that as well. Okay, so I think what the point of these quadruples is to keep those digits out of the line. So here, the minimum digits on this line are 2, 3, 5, and 6. They add up to 16. And that means these two circles between them have to add up to at least 16. Well, let's not forget 8, 8 as a possible combination. But they must have at least a 7 in each of them to do that. Now, that's actually more pronounced still in this box, where 1 and 2 are in the circles. Excuse me a moment. Now, let's have a look at... Yes, I was saying that this 1 and 2 are being kept off this line. I think that's very deliberate. The minimum cells that can go on this line in box 1 are 3, 4, 5, 6. They add up to 18. And that is, of course, also the maximum for two different, well, for two, not different, but two digits in the puzzle. They both have to be 9. And this is 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Now, let's take that down to box 7. Well, the sum of 5 there is the same as the sum of 5 here. So yes, okay. So I suppose in this case we're finding that again 1, 4, 5, 6 is the minimum. That adds up to 16, just as it did for this line. This is great, right? In this case, well, actually it's the same here. Okay. These two circles now can't be 9 anymore because you've got a 9 looking at that one and a 9 looking at that one. So 16 is now the maximum, and therefore, since it's the maximum of the circles and the minimum of the line, it must apply. That's a 1, 4, 5, 6 triple. This one here also is now 2, 3, 5, 6, which adds up to the minimum on the line of 16, which now the maximum in the circles, because in the rows they both see the 9. And there we go. Now, I've been planning for some time to take this down to box 9. If 3, 4, 5 are excluded from the line there, as they are, what's the minimum on the line? 1, 2, 6, 7 adds up to 16. Well, that's quite interesting. These, I suppose they could be a 9, 7 pair or a 9, 9 pair. But since 8 is ruled out, one of these at least is a 9. Now that tells me this digit is not a 9, because at least one of these, and maybe both of them, is a 9. And there has to be a 9 around this quadruple circle, and it's not there. I suppose it could be here with a 3, 4, 5 triple. Anyway, these... Okay, we don't actually know. These make this line add up to either 16 or 18. So this isn't quite the write-in that these other boxes were. Let's just have a little think about these other boxes now. Where does 8 go in box 1? Because we've got 4 8s in the grid. Actually, we've got 4 8s looking at the middle box. And that means I can fill in 8 in the middle box. It can't be in any of those cells. It goes right in the center of the puzzle. 8 seems suddenly to be the most important digit in this puzzle. No, 8 in box 1, because of these 8s, it's ruled out of those cells. And given the pencil marking, 8 has to be in one of those opposite corners. The same is true in box 3. The same is true in box 7. It might even be true in box 9. None of those can be 8. But we haven't ruled 8 off the line yet in box 9. Okay, now maybe I have to think about, well, I don't know, this line doesn't have the same restrictions that the other ones did. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2 are there. The only possible digits for this corner are 7, 8, 9. That's true here as well. And that's true here as well. Again, when you look at the lines on the numbers on the line and in the circle. Oh, hang on. Here's another way of looking at these two corners. Where do 8 and 9 go in column 1? Well, they go in the corners. They can't go in their own box. And these line cells are all marked up with low digits. So 8 and 9 must be in the corner. In fact, 7 must now be in box 4 in column 1. Does that apply? Yes, it applies in row 1 as well. Where do 8 and 9 go? They must be in the corners because they can't be in this box. And 7 again is in one of those cells. Now, does it apply down here? It doesn't, because we don't know about this pair yet. There's some holistic way this all binds together, I imagine. Now, we worked out one of these at least was a 9, so that's not 9. Oh, look, none of these cells are 9 by Sudoku in the central box. So 9 goes in one of these cells. It can't be there, we've just worked out. And this is a 967 triple because we've got still to fulfill the 67. 3 has to be in one of these two cells according to this quadruple. And in fact, these digits are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The ones down here can't be 3. Now the circles are really quite difficult. They are an absolute max of a 5 and a 4, which adds up to 9. And that means there must be a repeat digit in these. In fact, 1 can't appear in these two. So I think 2 has to be in them. If you didn't have a 2 here, this would be at least 3, 4. That would be 7. And since that would have to be at least 2, 1, that would break the total here, which can't be as much as 10. So 2 must be there. I bet 1 must be here. Since 2 can't be, if 1 wasn't on this pair, they would be 3, 4, and we'd get up to 10 on the line. So 1 is there. Oh, and the other digit on both of these lines, does it have to be 3? 1, 3, and 2, 3 is the absolute minimum. Yeah, that's right, because we've marked these 2s and 1s. 2, 3, and 1, 3 adds up to 9. That's what they are. Right, sorry. This was blindingly obvious, but it took me a while to understand it. So now that that line adds up to an absolute minimum of 9, these two cells definitely add up to 9, and they are a 5, 4 pair. I can take 5, 4 out of these cells. This becomes where 3 is around the circle. That is going to affect 2 and 3 there. And we've fulfilled the 3 circle and the 6, 7. We've basically, have we really used all the clues in the puzzle now? Well, it's just this line. Oh, and that 9. 9 is in one of those two cells. And that means one of these circles has to be a 7. I don't know which one, but one of them now has to be a 7 because 9 must be in one of those circles. No, hang on, I'm wrong. 9 could be here. I was getting ahead of myself there. Let's just do some Sudoku. 3 is looking at that. Now look, there's a 1, 3 pair and a 1, 3 pair. That's a double X-wing, putting 1, 3 in these cells. Oh, now this is, well, I've only just noticed there's a 6, 7, 9 triple there and another one here. 6, 7, 9, 1, 3. Everything else in this row is, well, and 8. Everything else in this row is 2, 4, or 5. So, well, this can't be 2. That's 4 or 5 because 2 is confined to these cells. And in fact, now we know exactly where it is. It's there. That's a 4, 5 pair. That's a strange finding. That's not a 2 either. And that's a 4, 5 pair. We might colour the 4, 5s at some point. Now, I feel certain. Yes, here it is, finally. These two pink digits cannot both be the same, because where would that digit appear in box 5? It would be ruled out of all of those cells. And 7 and 9 have to appear within those 3 cells. So these are different from each other. They are a 9-7 pair. That makes this line add up to 16, but also it means this cell can't be 9 or 7. That is a 6, and these aren't. And actually, okay, let's do this. This was 1, 2, 6, 7, wasn't it? As a minimum, and that adds to 16, yes. That's 1, 2, 6, 7. This digit is 8 or 9, like all the corners. Just going to take the... No, I'm not going to take the corner marks out, because they're marking where 8 goes. 8 again in this box is in one of those 2 corners. But I've also noticed something about 9s. I mean, I love that this is a 1-star puzzle, because some of these deductions are really very interesting and slightly complicated. It's not difficult, it's just clever, but it takes some thinking. What I was going to say is one of those is a 9 and one of these is a 9. And that means that neither of these 2 cells can be 9. Obviously we've pencil marked that one and we know it can't be. But this can't be either because there's a 7-9 pair in the column. Now, if 9 can't be there or there, it obviously can't be there. But this 9 quadruple is the last important clue. And that requires a 9 in its 2 by 2. And that has to be in this orange area here. Now that is going to push 8 in the box into the corner. That's going to sort all the corners, 9, 8, 9. It's going to sort all the 8s in the corner boxes. Those 2 have to be the 8s in boxes 3 and 7. Do I get to put a 9 in here? Yes, I do. Is that all the 9s in the puzzle? No, it's not. Is it all the 8s in the puzzle? Yes, I've done all the 8s. How am I doing on 9s then? There's a 9 in one of those cells and a 9 in one of those, but obviously one is in the pink and one isn't. These remaining digits in box 9 are 3, 4, 5. These ones in red are 1, 4, 7. These ones in green are 1, 2, 7. These ones in yellow are 2, 3, 7. Now, let's do some elimination of pencil marks. 3 there, 2 there, looking at that cell. Oh, that's got ramifications across. 2 is in one of those cells and one of those cells, so it can't be in one of these 2. And it must be in one of those. No, that's not a quadruple. This is a quadruple. 1, 2, 4, 7. So that can't be 4. Everything else in the row is 3, 5, or 6. This is a quadruple in green and yellow. 1, 2, 3, 7. So that can't be 1 and this can't be 3. And this is from 4, 5, or 6. I've got another... Oh no, that is not a quadruple. Oh, that's strange. Okay, how about this one? No. Some of my expectations about this puzzle are being defied, which is very clever. Right, that can't be a 1. That's just Sudoku. That's a 2, 7 pair. This can't be 3. Now 3. Oh, 3 is placed in box 1, thanks to these 3s and the fact that there must be a 3 in yellow. So 3 in box 1 is there. This can't be a 3. Does that do nothing else? I get that 5, 6 pair resulting. Okay, I thought that was going to do more than it did. 3 and 3. I can place 3 in box 8 there. Got 7, 9, 6 triple and 3 and 8. Everything else is 1, 2, 4 or 5. Right, I know this isn't a 1 because there's a 1, well, we've pencil marked 1 in box 2. That's the best explanation. So we've got another 4, 5 pair. I'm getting these all over the place. Everything else in column, what's this? Column 6 is a 1 or 2. How is this not fully unwound? I feel like I'm missing something now. It's going to be about these lines and how they interact. That can't be 3. This pair is, that's now a 5-6 pair. There we go. That's going to help. So this is 2 and 3. That becomes a 1. This becomes a 2. I'm taking the 1 corner mark out of those cells. The 5-6 pair there takes 6 out of these, puts 6 into one of these, takes 6 out of there, puts 6 into one of these, takes 6 out of here, and makes the 6 in this row over in column 9. That becomes a 5. That becomes a 6. I need a 6 in column 4, and there's a 6 in one of those 2 cells, so it's not in row 9. I can put a 6 there. This is now not a 6. I think this is a 6. Yes, the 6 in one of those cells was meant to take 6 out of here. So 6 is here in box 7. That's the 6 in box 4. That's the 6 in box 1. Are all 6s done now? No. Yes, they are if I fill in the last 2. There we go. All 6s are complete. That's interesting. I mean, I've done a lot of 9, 8 and 6. No, barely, haven't written a 7 in the grid anywhere. I'm probably missing something. This can't be a 4 because there's a 4-5 pair in the row. I'm still very tempted to colour 4s and 5s, but it may turn out not to be necessary. I mean, in fact, I doubt it. Those can't be 2s. Ah, one of these is a 2, so that's not a 2. So 2 is placed in box 9. Then that 3-2 pair's done. This can't be a 3. This can't be a 3, and that can't be a 1. What have we got? 4, 5, 7, triple. That one can't be a 4 because of that pair. In fact, this pair is a 4-2 pair, and we know the order thanks to the 2. So now I can undo my 5s and 4s, and I never needed to colour them. Good. 4, 5. I thought there were more than that. Maybe not. I can put 4 in box 4. The 7, 9 are not done, nor is that. This is from 5, 7 or 9, I think. Okay, that has become a 5. This is another 5-4 pair resolved. That 4 makes this a 5. This has become a 1. This is 4. Along the bottom I have 7 and 1 to put in. Now I can undo the pinks finally. That becomes a 9. This one must be a 7. And that's going to disambiguate the rest of the puzzle, I think. So we have another 5-4 pair to resolve here. Up this column I can go with a 7 and a 5 there. This 1-7 pair is resolved. So all the lines are done now. That 7 is looking across and making this a 3. That gives me a 2-7 pair here, and I've got a 4-5 pair. This is another 3. That 7 is looking up to red. Okay, that's incredibly helpful. 2, 1, 7. Yeah, that's going to finish us off, I think. So that 4 that we got in red sorts out the 5-4 in orange, and then 5 and 4. And that's not too hard. That is, it's a really clever puzzle. Oh, 2,000 people have done it. So that's been a popular puzzle. But it really is very, very neatly put together. Mixo, an absolute star at the game. And it wasn't that difficult, to be fair, but it's a very cleverly done thing. So thank you for watching a solve of that. Thank you, Agostina, for mentioning it to us. And well done, Mixo. We'll see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.